welcome back. It's been a while since we've been able to work together, but I'm hyped. Sorry about the scheduling, but I'm glad we were able to figure that out.
No, it's all good.
What happened
Yeah.
was, remember that one week we had where where we wound up having to bump it back? So for some reason my phone remembered that time.
Oh, yeah.
So I have fixed it. This shouldn't be a problem again, but yeah, it was just silly nonsense.
No, it's all good. Yeah. You've been good with that before. I wasn't worried at all. I was like, I hope he's okay. Like, I hope nothing happened to him, but no, it's
Aw,
all good.
thank you. No,
Yeah.
I just goofed with my phone settings. That's all. And it has been fixed. It's been a bit. So I know you said that you've been working on an execution, and just making sure that you're like maintaining a certain like base.
Yeah.
I also know that you mentioned that you've been working on the like wave dash in for shines and tilts and jabs and other goodies. I'm like trying to find a way to like work in the mango wave dashes. So talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? How do you want to proceed from here? I know what I suggested. I think we talked a little bit about just watching you play live for a bit and kind of doing feedback there and finding out just seeing where you're at currently, and then we can go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I've been like I when we were like before school got really busy, about I don't even know, 2 months ago, like I was really consistent with tech, and I've tried to keep that up, like because sometimes I won't even play unranked, or like I won't even play games. I'll literally, like yesterday I'm listening to this audiobook I really like, and I did Around the World of the Cast. I comboed like every CPU on level 1, and then I reversed it and did every CPU on level 9. So that took like a good couple hours. But so just trying to keep like the hands fresh. Yeah, we can. I think if you want to start with like just seeing where I'm at, I also have gained a lot from when we've talked about more like you know how my brain works. I always like the big picture stuff,
Hmm.
and so I was even like, because coaching, like it's obviously game stuff, but even just like mentality stuff. Like I was trying to think about um my feelings towards like competing and improving, because it's like I'll start with this, and then if you want to build off this, we can go, or you can just let me know what you're thinking. Because I was trying to write down some notes of like
Sure.
what I wanted to talk to you about and where I'm at with like melee specifically. Because it's like, um, I did notice a big tech deficiency. Like, you didn't necessarily point it out. You just kind of said like, this is what you need to do to play the game, and then I was like, oh shit, like this is what I got to do. So I've been grinding movement, and I would say that I feel as comfortable with Falco as I've ever felt with like any melee character. And I've kind of gotten to this point in the past with like other characters. And and so it's like, I guess in that sense, like I've reached that like soft goal for myself. Like I'm happy with my improvement in that degree, but then I'm thinking like, what are my barriers for like, so it's like, if like, and it doesn't really matter. I haven't been playing ranked, but I'm beating opponents. Like when I was at my peak with Falcon, I'm like already past that, but not too much far past that with Falco now.
Hmm.
And it's like I'm trying to figure out like what is the next, like how do I bust in, like I mean maybe I shouldn't compare myself to my friends and stuff, but it's like I just want to be improving at a faster rate, or I want my time to be intentional, like I want to like bust into that like next echelon, but and so I guess like maybe my fear, my psychological barrier is like I fear that I'm like stagnating in a way, or like my rate of improvement is slowed, or I don't know what I'm trying to get at. I guess it's like I'm trying to orient myself. I just want a good recipe to like grow fast, if that makes sense. But
Okay. So
yeah.
that's fair, and I totally understand wanting that magic recipe that's going to like improve us quickly. The one thing I will caution is, while I can give you while I can help you find a recipe that works,
Hmm.
the initial burst of like improvement we get from first integrating the concepts and first improving our tech skill, that like it's kind of like, I think that it might have been you or someone else who told me, who provided the analogy of going to the gym. Like
Mm.
when you first start going to the gym, it doesn't really matter what you do, really. Like, it's just
Yeah.
any amount of exercise is going to help you because
Yeah.
because of the place you're starting from. After a bit, we need more technique, we need more focus, and because of the learning required, and like they're more difficult concepts because properness matters more. um
Yeah.
So I just want us to have realistic expectations that this might not be quite as fast as like that initial burst. Now, having said that, do I think that we can find something that works? Absolutely. But yeah, like, I think the best way to do it would be, let's take a look at where you're at now, and then we can,
Sure.
and then we should be able to spot at least some of the things that we could maybe, that are either missing or that we could improve upon or solidify further, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, that sounds great. So I start the broadcast and then I give you do I need your code, I guess?
Yep, you need mine, so I've just sent it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think like another way I could describe that is like, it was so obvious that what was holding me back was like my tech being so deficient. But now my tech's good, but then I feel like my brain is missing. Like I'm losing to people quote unquote worse than me. Obviously they're not worse if they're beating me, but worse in the sense of like they're not hitting the stuff I'm hitting. So anyway, we'll just play and then I'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
let me know when you're in the match, and yeah, we'll go.
I'm versus Pikachu now. Do you see it or no?
I'm not showing anyone is broadcasting to me.
Oh, maybe I didn't start the broadcast. This guy's gonna think I just quit on him, but okay. Oh, I didn't press start broadcast.
Okay.
Oh wait.
No, now I can see it.
Okay, yeah. I think it's because I had Uncle Punch open and then I had to switch over, so should be good to go now.
Okay, cool. Let me know when you're in a game, and then yeah, because right now it's black, so I'm assuming we're queuing.
Yeah, I'm just searching. I'll let you know. Okay, I connected to a Falco.
Okay.
On FB. Do you see it?
Yep, I can see it now.
Okay.
And which one are you?
I'm red.
Okay, I'm gonna turn names on just so I can keep track of that better. Manage gecko codes. Show player names. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, I really liked how you did that, like how you did that laser into dare.
Yeah, this guy's doing a lot of the like he's just gonna retreat and laser spam type Falco.
And how do you find that?
Pardon?
How do you find fighting that?
I get baited by it because I'm impatient. So, I mean, especially on FD, like it's like the most concentrated form of that. But
when you're instead of going for that forward smash, try to just back air him on the way down of your full hop, because the full hop is a good way to get around that. Like when you've been using the full hop, that works. But yeah, like you're just waiting too long. I think sometimes when he comes up after you, back air also tends to be good in those interactions.
Okay.
And then like yeah, down air again. Down air and back air are like kind of like are good there.
Okay. I think something I was reminding myself because when I was maining Falcon, like I got to a point where laser heavy Falcos didn't bother me because I could just play around the laser, and then I'm like, well, I can just play around the laser with this character too, like. But
yeah.
It's a little hard, I guess.
If he's at like like if he's at a pretty decent distance, you can also just shield the laser and then laser out of shield after, I think.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, I've definitely been like enjoying improving though. Like I would say before when we were working, like my general control of Falco was so bad that like I just really needed to grind that out. But I feel like I'm at a point. Wow.
Come back. Let's go. Let's play this guy again. This guy's a good level for us, I think, because he's tough, but not like he's probably like he's pretty strong, but he's beatable. Like he's just he's good.
Yeah.
High laser when he's on that platform.
Oh. I was trying to wave dash out of shield.
Cool. So what I'm noticing is we need to understand safety a little bit better. Like when things are safe, when things are not safe, how we act. That's like
Mm-hmm.
that's a big thing. So that's a little that stuff is a little more dry, but I think it's also very important.
Yeah.
So that's like one area that I'm noticing that we could like improve in. Like it's just like the amount, like how much time do you have to do things? Like the sense of like how much time the game gives you for certain actions. I think that's like for follow-ups and like for pressure, for counter hits, for crouch cancels, things like that. I think are something that we can work on for sure. What else do I notice? Yeah, it's like the big one I'm noticing so far. Try not to shield so much. I know it's tempting, but
What should I do instead of shield? Like CC in a defensive way, or like?
CC, get out, or move. Or attack.
Yeah. Yeah, I do wait and shield too much.
Yeah, the problem with shield is that, like... So think about, like, the undershoot, overshoot with punish triangle. You're nerfing 2 of them. Because you can still attack out of shield. But, like, you can't overshoot... Like, so you can undershoot, but you can't overshoot and you can't whiff punish very effectively. So, like, you're weakening 2... That's why, like, baiting outside of shields is really strong in general.
Yeah, because you're counting on their option.
Yeah. You're just playing to, like, the limitations of their position.
Oh, I don't think I... Oh, no. Yeah. Oh.
So I'd say, like, finishing... So another one would be combo finishes. Where do we put them at the end? That's, like, something I think that's worth looking at, too. So, like, what advantage do we want at the end? And what are, like, how do we, like... Yeah, how do we kill our opponent, basically? Like, how do it... Well, like, I know you had to know how to kill them, but, like, how do we kill them even more efficient? Like, more consistently efficiently? So what I'm getting here is, like, mechanical structure. And a lot of it has to do with just, like, more concrete things. So that's good, because, like, this, now we have like, a pretty good, like, big picture base, so now we're adding specifics. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Totally. No, and I would say, like, compared to where we were when we started our lessons, like, I feel like I'm more equipped on the big picture level. And then I know it's just, like, I think this is, like, a dynamic I want to talk about is that, okay, sorry, it's hard to talk and play.
Yeah,
Maybe
after.
Yeah. Off the top.
You don't have to back up from him. Like, when you get the low aerial or laser on shield initiation, you don't have to... Like, the approaching laser or low aerial, you don't have to back up. You can just stay in on him. Just keep pressuring him.
Okay.
Okay.
Not really, just whipping stuff, but...
I mean, the idea was good. The idea was good. The execution was just, like, slightly off. It's okay. These things happen. See, you just kept going. That's what you gotta do.
Yep.
Let's play him one more time. This time, just play him all the way through. I want to see you in your element.
Okay.
Bodied. Let's go.
If that was last stock, that would be a different story. But...
I think it was still a cool kill. Like, accidental, sure, but, like, it was still sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Waiting for me.
Yeah, he caught you.
Yeah.
Nice. You're better at getting the big hits than him, but his, like, overall structure, I think, is a little sturdier.
For sure. Yeah, no, my structure, that's what I'm saying, like, yeah, that's the word. When, I'll talk to you after.
Yeah. That's not the way of this game. I'm just observing, like, that's just, like, a small observation I've had.
Mm-hmm. No.
That's a really good game. Yeah, that was a sick game. I want to point out something. Even though his overall structure was like probably sturdier than yours, that was still really close. And the big thing here is the main thing that you did better than him, if I had to like summarize it, it's your ability to find the important hits. So like he's doing a better job of like winning neutral and stuff, but like the thing about Falco is that's kind of assuming that he's like that there's not like a massive skill disparity. Like we're not fighting Zane or like Kodo or like Ossify or something. Or even just like a PR Marth in your own region. Like unless there's like a big skill difference, we just kind of assume that Falco is generally going to be favored in neutral. Not obviously against every single character, but like generally speaking, he's going to be the character who has the stronger neutral game. So with that in mind, there's kind of like, I'm not saying that that it's bad to be like to focus on neutral as your main strength, but I do think that there is a diminishing returns after a certain point if you neglect the important hits. Like the way, like his one of his biggest weaknesses is his like that his kill setups are somewhat inconsistent. So like if you can solve that problem either by like having more reliable ones, which is kind of like the Magi route, or if you can solve it by finding the big hits, which is more of like the Mango route. You know, like those are ways that you can address those weaknesses and overcome them. And what I see from you is like your F smash placement is quite good. So
thanks.
Yeah. So let's talk structure though, because like we do need that to give us better opportunities for those things. So what's something that you noticed that he was doing that you think that you could benefit from?
His laser game was like way better, for sure.
So what do you think? What do you think goes into a good laser game? Like, if you had to describe like a proper laser game, where's the starting point?
Like I mean, so it wouldn't. It's like lasering to initiate, like lasering to lock your opponent down, I guess, like to limit options, to apply pressure constantly, and then also not lasering in a way that's like predictable, like two lasers in dare or like one laser dare, like just basically lasering every time you're not doing anything else. But I don't laser that much.
Okay, so let's see here. I agree with all of that.
He retreated lasered specifically. Like he would always, when he didn't like the interaction or when he wasn't in a, like an advantageous state, he would like retreat and be like, "Come at me, and I'm gonna laser you while you try to come at me." So, yeah, he was definitely using laser to control the battlefield more so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that's huge. I would be curious, what do you think of the benefits of different laser heights are?
Well, they just like cover different heights, right? So it's like a high laser would cover like a jump in, or like a low laser would cover like a dash attack, I guess, for like Sheik or something. So.
Right, but like, so what would be the benefit of like a low laser? Which do you think is more useful generally? Like a low laser, a mid laser, or a high laser?
I'd say lower the better, generally.
Why?
Because you're actionable for longer, because like you're closer to the ground when the laser comes out.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Also, like most people, unless they're jumping, are on the ground, and then jumping is a disadvantage, sort of, for most characters. Like being grounded is better for most characters because of CC and stuff.
Yeah, so we'll break. So I'll break this down a little bit, but
Sure.
the big thing. So one thing I want us to keep in mind is if we are actionable sooner with the lowest laser relative to like when the laser is fired. If somebody jumps over the laser, right, we're more equipped to be able to like dash away, to up tilt, to shine, to back air, to whatever we want to do, right? Because if the laser is firing at them low to the ground and they jump around it, we should be generally actionable at that time, right? So it covers the ground, and then it doesn't cover the air, but it gives us counterplay to the air. You see how that works, right? Because like if we can move after it, then like yeah, we can get out of the way of the aerial, or potentially, you know, do something about it if they're assuming they're not close enough. So I'd say that low lasers are a really good start. There's a section here in this like fiction video that I want us to like take a look at, and it has to do with like the it has to do with like kind of this like rule he has about two lasers. I'm just gonna try to find. I'm just gonna put that up on my screen. Because I think that this could give us some ideas on how we can approach it. So let me know if you can see it, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Early roll out of the way.
So
Deal with that. First of all, is just don't let him fall on you as much as possible. You either want to be on an even ground with Fox, or you want to be above Fox. You usually do not want Fox to be above you or like falling on you, and if he is,
so where does he talk
it's
about
usually
the two
best
lasers?
to just disengage.
For $5.99
Oh,
plus tax,
Lord.
get your small premium roast.
Yeah, advertising.
I know.
That's okay.
McDonald's and Bell, like, sponsorship. Make it happen.
Than just trying to
Hell yeah.
crush you, because he'll start delaying. They'll start delaying.
Yeah,
That's
so
why
this
the
is
first step is showing Fox that you can defend yourself.
This
But you're
applies to any
basically
character that
showing
tries to
Fox,
rush down Falco,
hey,
basically,
you
though.
can't rush me. You can't crush me. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna move around, and I'm gonna keep myself safe. Once you've established this, and Fox is forced to sort of play on the outskirts of your moves and look strategically for openings rather than just trying to crush you, because he'll start delaying. They'll start delaying. Oh, I'm going to wait a little bit before I jump in, and that's when you can start finding the opportunities to actually attack.
So, from that, what are your thoughts on that? Upon hearing that, what do you think? Because, I mean, like, we know that Falco's kind of a slower character at high level compared to, say, like, Fox and Captain Falcon and Marth.
Yeah.
So, we know, like, there's certain, like, we kind of understand he has to play hot and cold, but upon hearing that you start on cold, what are your thoughts there?
Okay, so this is something, I think this is like a psychological barrier, but I think it's actually important for me to talk about so I can like actually like. So the thing is, I've realized that the way I want to play the game is I want to play the game by like, I mean, maybe like by the, yeah, like obviously I'm not going to be the best in the world probably ever in my lifetime. I might be PR'd, but it's like I want to win on my terms. And my terms is like I want to initiate. I want to like dominate the other player. I don't like there's win conditions where if like there's win conditions where like I get stuff really hard by like defensive players generally because I'm impatient. If they're just gonna outpatient me, and it's like I don't necessarily want to win by like being patient. So it's like, but I do understand the idea of like you do need to make your opponent respect you, and the easiest way to do that is by like lasering them. But it's like, do you kind of see what I'm getting at? It's like I have like a deep reaction to being like I don't want to run away and laser, but that is kind of like where it starts. It sounds like, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like, so I don't necessarily think we have to think about it as like we're running away. It's more of like we're establishing a firm, like, because if we take a look at like the examples in the video going forward.
Okay, so let's go over some key points. So Fox is faster, like way faster, especially on the ground. He's just incredibly fast. His dash speed, you can't really keep up with him. But the nice thing is you have your lasers. So the point of the lasers is to slow Fox down and kind of take him down to your speed level.
So it's not so much that we're trying to like run away and just keep him out forever. It's more that the lasers are a way that we can take his biggest strength, which is his speed advantage, and bring him down onto a more equal footing before we start like playing our offense. I think that the idea here is that we're not like, we don't necessarily have to view it as like we're being defensive. It's just more like our plan starts, like our early game has a bit more wind up. That's it. Like we need, and if we don't respect that, in the same way that like Falcon, like I view this kind of like how Sheik plays, you know, in that she can play like a pretty standard like mid-range combat, the way that like Marth and Falcon do, where she's you know threatening very spooky moves. She's got her big powerful footsie tools. She's like moving in, coming out. Like she can play the hot and cold like movement bait style really effectively. It's a little wacky because of she uses wave dash more, but I mean it works because she has powerful normals. But you know, you still have that early chunk of like 24 to 26 to 27-ish damage where you just have to play a little bit slower because it is the restriction of her character. Her tools are not online yet. Like, and that's okay. In Falco, it's not so much based on percentage, but based on a speed advantage that the opponent has. So we're doing this with the purpose of doing the fun stuff later, I guess.
No, that makes sense. I think like where in my development in the last couple of weeks or whatever was like when I was worse at Falco I was worse versus Falcon like a month ago, because that's the thing is if you don't shut him down with lasers, like he's just gonna run all over you. And I guess that would equally apply to Fox because Fox has like basically decent speed as well. I notice, I mean, maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves, but I noticed then if I do turn on like the laser jets, then a lot of these guys will just become like shield grab monsters, like mongrels, like Falcon and like, but then that's where the shield options come in, I guess. But anyway, I'll let you lead. Continue here with us and then.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're ever playing a Fox and you feel like they're just running around, like they're just changing their stage position, they're zooming all around way too quickly for you to deal with, that's sort of an indicator that you need to be using more lasers or lasering more often. Because basically that just means that Fox is getting a...
Something I want to point out here. So let's take a look at this interaction that's coming up with. So I think that like let's take a look at this interaction like kind of slowly, because I think this is a good example. So when we see what the Falco's doing, like, would you say, like, the Falco is playing a little more defensively, sure, but you notice that, like, normally I think that, typically speaking, when we see this interaction here, this one that's coming up, where he turns his back to him, I feel like a lot of times the temptation is to just, like, back air and miss here, right? But this is
Yeah.
where I'd say that the laser is actually a really good offensive tool. Because
Mhm.
what the Falco does instead of back airing, he turns around and laser. He's able to hit the Fox, and then because he's hit the Fox, he's able to create like this bait situation where he actually gets another laser. He could have absolutely taken another laser had he like reacted sooner, like, and from there he can set up offense because like. He could, like, imagine if he, instead of like going for this dash dance here, because I think, yeah, if instead of going for this dash dance here, imagine if he just, like, shoots another laser in place and then, like, decides to, like, use this position as his, like, jumping off point, right? Like, he could short hop it in place and threaten to, like, approaching aerial after. He could move forward, like, here, like, short up in place, drift forward, like, fast fall laser, like this, and then potentially, like, encroach on his space. He's like the laser here is really essential because by putting Fox into this amount of stun, Falco has a lot more control over how the interaction goes. And the funny thing is we actually see that happen here. Like this is how he gets that offense started. And even though Fox has like full stage control, great position, he's able to use his by being a little patient, he's able to turn that situation on the Fox and then seize back control of the map. So. I know that it's like probably a little bit slower paced than we'd like to play it, but at the same time, it is important to respect how powerful Fox's offensive tools are and to take our time getting in on him.
Yeah, and then I think it's like, and then like you said, it's like hot and cold, and it's like when you're in, you gotta be in, like, gotta make it. So.
Yeah, there's different ways that you can approach the shield pressure. Like personally, I kind of like the something I've been exploring with like some other players is just kind of like using Falco's spaced back air, and the spaced back air, up tilt, laser on like short up laser, dash, jump cancel, shine, stuff like that to like kind of like the Ginger style stuff, because it is more frame lenient than like the Magi like up close shines. But there's different ways that, like, and they have their pros and cons. Personally, I like the idea of not playing into Fox's shine out of shield. But yeah, there's different approaches. So let's just watch a bit further. But do you have any questions about that before we go on?
No, it's good. I think I'm just thinking like, I guess this is just the work. This is like the foundation of building my own sturdier base.
Yeah.
That's like, okay. Yeah, we can continue.
Getting away with too much of his movement. He's not being slowed down enough. So
this is key.
Metric to use, like, is he zipping around? Laser time. Another point is that Fox really likes falling on Falco. So because of Falco's slightly worse shine out of shield, he's not quite as good at dealing with Fox falling on him as another Fox might be. So Foxes really like to abuse the fact that they can get in on you with Nair shine. A lot of times, even though drill shine isn't perfectly technically safe, it'll work really well. Or they do back air shine, or sometimes Foxes will even do stuff like they'll just drill your shield and then they'll drill again because they're sort of calling.
So there's one section I want to like look at.
You dash dance and Fox full hops, and you're like, okay, Fox full hop,
so
and get hit by this making down air. You'll just laser and then laser again in place, and it's.
This is the section.
Basically, there's a range that is basically around the distance of your approaching down air. And instead of taking the approaching down air, you'll just laser and then laser again in place. It's basically impossible for Fox to actually deal with the first laser and then deal with the second laser.
So this is key. This is like very, 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 very important. Did you know about that?
No.
No, that's okay. But you can see why can you see why that's useful to know?
Yeah, totally.
So, okay, so without having watched further, what's one benefit you can see about knowing that that second laser is safe, that we can apply to our play?
Well, it's kind of like a mix-up in a way because you're just calling out their approach. Like, you're just saying, like, okay, you waited out the one laser, and then you wait to go in and, like, you're done. And I guess it's a reversal in the sense where it's safe, then Falco would have advantage to, like, set up in that sense, so...
Yeah, and I mean, like, safe is a broad term, because there is counterplay, like, you could running Power Shield, but he actually goes into that, and that's what I want us to look at.
While also getting in on you, and a lot of times, they don't really have the ability to fully take this in because the ranges are very dynamic as they're happening. You're moving around, and so they'll see a range, they'll take the laser, and they'll be like, oh, I can force my way in out of that. But you don't let them. You just shoot the second laser, and then a lot of times they'll nair in and get hit by the second laser, and now they're in hit stun in the air right in front of you, and you'll find an opening out of that. The other way that you're going to find openings is on stuff like jump shine. So a lot of times Fox will take laser and full hop. There are Foxes who will basically take every
You've probably
laser,
seen that.
shield every laser, and full hop.
Can you play it again, sir? I was writing a note.
Basically take every Fox will take laser and full hop. There are Foxes
You've seen that, right? Like take laser full hop?
For sure.
Take every laser, shield every laser, and full hop, and just stalemate like this forever. That is where jump shine comes in. So a lot of times
this is
Fox
big.
will want to do full hop, and then they fall on you with an aerial. But that means that they're not going to do an aerial on their way up.
That's cool, huh?
And so that makes the full hop rather easy to punish because Fox does not have a hitbox out. So you can do a lot of times where you'll get like laser, you dash dance, and Fox full hops. And you're like, okay, Fox full hop, that's fine. Then next time you get close, you do laser, dash dance, Fox full hops again. Okay, I guess this is the type of Fox who really likes full hopping. Or maybe they do full hop double jump waveland to the top plat. And that's the spot where you go, okay, so you laser them again, and then you just full hop up, and you shine them out of the rising part of their full hop. And
That's
even
crazy.
If you...
That's cool, huh?
Yeah, that's very cool.
So, how often would you say that you find Fox's full hop, like back air, like after you've lasered them, like super annoying?
Yes.
All the time?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is counterplay to that. So the idea, I'm gonna pause here because I think that like we've got a lot to work with just from those concepts alone, and I'll give you the link to this video so like so if you want to like go over it on your own time, like absolutely. But I want us to like kind of break down like how he's approaching this, because I think that it's the method here that's like so valuable. So what we have here is we have a problem here of we have Fox doing these different options. And if we just like treat him as if we can lock him down with laser into approaching aerial, that's not going to work because he just has too much counterplay. Like he can shine out of shield afterwards. He can go for full hop. Preemptively, he's got various wave dash back options. So what instead Fiction is suggesting, which I think is really smart, is to take a look at what options he's doing, and then come up with solutions for like. This is one approach you can do, but like come up with solutions that have a lot of impact versus those options. That's what's going on with the full hop out of shield, because he's identifying that Fox likes to full hop, and there isn't really like a clean way to beat it once he's coming down, because he's got like his double jump mix up. Like he could potentially laser forward and then like up tilt, like, and then try to up tilt to anti-air him, but by that point Fox is coming down. So what he's identified is that there's the opening is not there. The opening is actually when Fox is going up. So let me see if I can find one of his examples, because I want to like we're gonna make a diagram ideally. So
Sure.
Where is Fox in the air? I never thought it would be so hard.
To find a full hop Fox.
I know, right? This is like the only time in history we haven't been able to find one. But there's a lot of really good stuff in this video in general. Okay, we're just gonna make one. Screw it. This is good enough. So like, yeah, we'll use this frame. So with this frame here, what we can see here, what we can break, if we break this down, let's try to come up with some additional options in addition to, like, let's think about what else Fox can do here, and then we're going to break things down. Like, let's come up with some other options that Fox can do here, and then we're going to break down some ways that we can potentially answer them. So we know that he has full hop here to about here. Let's say that we know he's going to either hold shield or full hop. What else can we do here to answer those kinds of options after we shot this laser?
If all he's going to do is hold shield or full hop, like he's only going to represent two options?
Yeah, that's like we fought this guy. This is like our let's say we're 2 stocks in and that's all he's done so far.
Okay, if he was going to hold shield, then you could do like shield pressure and try to like bait out a shield grab or punish it, right? So that like I have focused like in my private development, I focused a lot on trying to get in on a shielding opponent. If he's full hopping, which is probably the better choice for him, then yeah, like I guess the fiction option. But other than that, I wouldn't. I would be. I don't know.
So the problem here. So no. This is good. This is good. This is what I was hoping for. So we know that the laser is going to hit his shield, and we're gonna get like a little bit of time. Like we're gonna be positive a couple of frames, probably like 2-ish, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, what I'm curious about is, what are the options that Falco has that deals with Fox going up here and Fox staying here? Because that's really like the crux of this. We need a way to like pressure both of these points in some way, and I just want to know what your thoughts are.
I don't know how you would pressure both without like you know what I mean, like committing and losing the other side of it.
Well,
I tell you what I do. I tell you what I would try to do naturally, which would be bad. Is what my inclination is he would full hop out of shield, and then I would try to like drift in like a full hopped aerial late, and then be way out of position, and then get stuff for it. But that's yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So basically, you're thinking here, and you're gonna be green here. So you're thinking like from here, from your starting position, you're just gonna like jump in, do your aerial around here or maybe here, fast fall, and then just like hit him around here or here on his shield. And then just like loose to full hop basically.
Yeah, or wait out, like wait for him to full hop and then try to like catch him with my own full hop aerial, which like wouldn't happen, but that might just
Okay. So what else? So what's the problem? What's the problem with like how can we have like a best of both worlds thing? Like what are some of our options that are good versus Fox when he's in the air?
I don't know.
Well, you back air, right? You got back air?
Yeah, sure.
So what if we just turned around and short hop back aired?
Yeah.
Like does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Honestly, I feel like this is my biggest. I am not good at thinking through options. Like I am not good at recognizing states of play, like consciously in Melee. So that's what I was gonna ask. Is like, how do you even begin to like? When you are thinking through countering options, do you do it in real time, like, or do you lose to it and then reflect on it after?
That one.
Like in your own development.
That one.
The second one, you lose to it and then you're like, why do I keep losing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the game is so fast that trying to figure all that stuff out in real time is like really really difficult. Like it's not. It's so hard. So like if so, are you trying to figure out everything like while you're playing?
No, I think my problem is I just don't really like analyze VODs. So I do it like I learn it over time through like monkey brain conditioning of like that result didn't give me the dopamine. So you know what I mean? Like put out a random, but I'm very bad at like reflecting or even like I will lose to situation. Like this is my problem is like, and this is what I'm hoping to like accomplish. Like, I don't know how to pick my brain apart in this way, but it's like to just even understand that, like you said, what was your main comment when you were watching me play earlier was like, you're
really good at finding the important hits, but the structure is not as strong as his.
And with that, it was like in other words, it's like I'm losing to, I'm getting hit a lot by dumb things, like not dumb things, but I'm losing situations that I might not be aware of, or whatever.
Well, what I would say is, it's funny you say that. I feel like it's actually kind of the opposite, right? Like you're losing all the standard, like you're losing mainly in the standard positions, because his structure is stronger. His structure is stronger than yours. So like in general, the spot that he had you in was when you were playing just standard mid-range combat or like a relatively far position from each other. And then he would kind of like be trying to force hits when he's not close, when he's just too far from you, really. When you got close to him, you were able to like leverage your threat, like your When you got close to him into like positions where you could both hit each other and he had to make a decision, your decisions were actually usually better than his. At least in that last Dreamland game. It's just because you got like the important kills, you got like the F smashes, you got like the critical things that help you keep up with his like more consistent game plan. But yeah, like when you're just in like neutral, that's when you had problems. So I think that this makes a lot of sense. So what I think could help here is let's just think about, let's just like openly, what are Fox's options? Let's say like Fox has, let's kind of scrap the original premise. Let's say that Fox might do other things. Like when he's holding shield, he might up smash out of it. He might shine out of it. Like he's going to do some kind of like, once his shield is touched, he's going to push a button either after this laser hits. So he's going to either full hop after the laser hits, or he's going to wait in shield and push a button when you touch his shield. So, knowing that, because those both require different answers, what are some of the buttons he might push after his shield is touched by your aerial?
A.
Right, so he might shield grab. No, that's important. Yeah. That's absolutely important. So, shield grab. What else?
I guess he could shine at a shield if he was feeling it.
Shine, right? Up smash?
Yeah, I don't see it that much, but definitely he could.
Yeah, it works at the same speed. It works at 1 frame slower than shield grab. So like this is 8, this is 7, and this is 4. Okay. So like these are quick options. So these are scary. How far out do you think they hit?
They're all relatively close. I guess up smash would be the largest hitbox, but
so like around here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we know that if we are this close, we get hit by 2 of them, like shield grab-ish. And up smash. So that's important. So that would be like, that's why this line is red, because it represents those ranges roughly. And then for this one here, this will be purple. Shine out of shield's like what here?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is shine out of shield, and this is what we have like, yeah, sorry, this should be 4, and then we'll make this one, yeah, there we go. Now it makes more sense. So with this in mind, this is part of why I like back air. Like back airing with Falco here, because how far does Falco's, like, assuming you go to like after this laser you move forward or like smash turn jump back like a little bit, so you're kind of like your jump trajectory is kind of like this. Knowing that, what would you say that your back air's range is? Because you can move kind of like here.
Huge.
Right. So so could you hit him from here, like this point?
Easily.
Right. So, So what we notice is that this doesn't actually interact all that much with his up smash. Like we can wait, like when we backflip, because we're going to be doing delayed back air anyway, because we want to be like frame safe. We're going to be doing our backflip around here, and then we're gonna observe him. If he up smashes right away, we can just hit him afterwards. If he full hops, we are now in the position to be able to like use our back air like this, right? Because we can also double jump with it.
Yeah.
So we're creating a point of interaction where we have different answers to his options based on what we need. So this is what I mean about, this is how I start with strategy in general. Like, what are the demands of the situation, i.e. what moves is he doing that are annoying that I don't like? And then like, what are the moves and things what are the movements that set up the options I have that answer that option, those options. So this is really the critical point. The backflip to take us to this point is really the essential starting point, because this is what gets all the magic started. Because from here we can then double jump to back air to address this. We can also back air in case he pushes any of these buttons and hit him. And if he holds shield, we can just like wait till we're low anyway and then hit him anyhow. Like hit his shield and keep him contained. The cool thing here is, if you're really, really savvy, we also have other options that are still even good against this, that do not require us to back air from this backflip. Believe it or not. What if we just laser again?
Yeah.
Right? Because we can backflip to advance to get into like a closer position. Like get closer to his shield by a little bit, while lasering.
So can I? Yeah. Because I think this is starting to click. So it's like, in the sense that the most, like, it all stems from that initial spacing of the backflip or whatever, of the initial jump in, like you said, that allows you to represent, like, it's like a tree of decision making, but if you know the first branch, is always the same, and then from there you can cover and represent 3 more options. Like, that's how you build a sturdy foundation. Is that kind of what you're trying to say? Like, that's how you build, like...
Absolutely.
And I think for me, because I do so much shit that's just random, or it doesn't have that foresight, I guess, or it's not actually responding to what's being played, then that's why my structure is bad.
Yeah, so
Because I don't know these things.
Yeah, so all I would say is watch the fiction video, see what you, and what I would challenge you to do is, this is all done through the lens of like this is all done in the lens of versus Fox, but I would say like, see what else you can extrapolate versus like Captain Falcon versus Marth, like versus Sheik even. Like, see what things play around with the idea in your head and think about like, could this be applicable to another matchup, to another character? Because I think that will, and the thing is, even here's the thing, I don't want you to worry if you're wrong or not, because the thing about, this was by Ginger. Okay, cool. It's still, I'm pretty sure high lasers are still, yeah, this is still good, I think. But yeah, so I want, like, the reason I'm saying don't be worried if you're wrong is because a really important skill with this game, with like the learning of it, is being able to go in with a strategy and to like not be worried about, and to like be able to like assess it critically after the fact and decide if it's something that you want to continue with or not, or if it needs to be tweaked. Because a lot of times, like, the ideas we have are like a lot of times the ideas that we have regarding those kinds of things, they're better than we give them credit for, but they're just like, they're missing certain, they're like, they need to be adjusted, but they're not like intrinsically wrong. You know what I mean? Like, they're not completely wrong, but they're like partly wrong. Because yeah, the lab is usually not 100% perfect because it can't capture everything. It just doesn't have the capacity to do so. And that's okay.
So, what would be, because like to me, like I said, I'm always interested in like the mechanism of how to learn, like learn how to learn. So it's like, in this sense, it's like how do I even begin to start doing this in the most simple sense of like seeing something? Like, I feel like I'm even missing step one. Like, I find it hard to identify why I'm losing even, you know? And then it's like, you're losing a situation. Like, I'm guessing this is kind of what the mechanism will be, is like you identify a situation that you're losing in, you come up with a experiment, like a hypothesis on how to beat it, and then you implement it, and then you reiterate it based on the feedback of how well you're... Is that kind of what we're... is that the flow?
So basically, like, we take a look at our games, we notice the situations we're losing. Yeah, I'd say so. So one thing I would advise on... Oh, wait, what just happened? Did something explode? Yo, are you there? Oh, what the heck? I think he... Hello. Yo, you can't hear me. 1 second. Let me just try disconnecting. Yo, can you hear me or no?